School divisions, like Norfolk and Portsmouth, have decided to keep masks mandatory. We asked Portsmouth School Board Chairman Dr. Cardell Patillo what would happen if a parent shows up and tries to opt their kid out of wearing a mask.
We hope that we don't have any parents to do that, but if so, there are no other options for the child. Either they are to mask while in school or they cannot be present.
Still, in Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, masks are optional. And while all of this plays out, Youngkin says parents should get answers on masks from their school's principals.
It's unfortunate that this is developed this way. I understand the governor made a promise to the parents of Virginia during his campaign, and I think he's attempting to deliver on that. But the way to deliver on that is actually to change the law, not simply sort of write a letter that breeds all this confusion.
And so a spokesperson for the Attorney General, Jason Miyares, says that he supports Youngkin's executive order, and he too is waiting to see how the courts will rule. Live in Norfolk, Brendan Ponton, News 3.
Brendan, thank you so much for that. Well, the first free N95 masks have started arriving at some pharmacies, with more on the way in coming days. Now, this effort comes as the Biden administration seeks to ramp up access to high-quality masks during the spread of the highly contagious Omicron variant. The first masks started arriving in the Midwest last week. They should start arriving in southeastern locations as early as this Friday. According to the Biden administration, up to 3 free masks are available to every person in the U.S.
Tonight, growing concerns about the spread of COVID in Virginia's prisons, spreading so quickly that the Department of Corrections is suspending visitations until mid-February. Now, Lisa, whose last name we are leaving out to protect her identity, says that COVID has meant no visitations with her son. Her son has spent the last 2 years inside St. Bride's Correctional in Chesapeake. She says that he is being refused a COVID shot after requesting one many times. We asked the Department of Corrections in Virginia, who said that any inmate who requests a vaccination or booster will get it, and 74% of inmates at St. Bride's have received at least one dose. 103 inmates are currently COVID positive at St. Bride's.
This really bothers me. That's the only child I have left, and I feel sorry for the other people in there that hasn't had their shot either.
The Department of Corrections says all inmates with signs and symptoms of COVID are tested, as well as those that they are in close contact with.
From the JES First Warning Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Patrick Rocky.
Well, many of us spent the weekend digging out from the snowstorm, and now we have the potential for more snow as we head into next weekend. I say potential because we're pretty far out from it, and our forecast models have been flip-flopping all day. Now, this is the latest view, and it's a similar setup to what we had last weekend, but notice we're not seeing a whole lot of snow in our part of the world. This is based on the GFS forecast model that has gone, maybe not. And that's what both of our long-range forecast models are telling us, that it's highly subject to change, obviously. All right, this is a look at our wind chill forecast, because I think that's going to be the bigger issue when you wake up tomorrow morning. Temperatures are going to be down close to freezing, but it's going to be a bit on the breezy side. And so we're going to have feels like temperatures in the mid to upper 20s for tomorrow morning. So another morning you need to bundle up and bundle the kids up as they head off to the bus stop. But look at this. We've got warm up on the way with highs back in the 50s. We'll talk about the timing for that. And then another big cool down. And could we see another snowstorm? We're going to talk a lot more about the potential for the weekend coming up.
Patrick, thanks. Homeless shelters across the area open for extra hours Friday and Saturday. As you can imagine, those freezing temperatures and snow drove a lot of people to them. News 3 reporter Ellen Ice talked to one organization in Hampton about the increased need for help and how the community can come together.
Help Inc. says they had to go to 24-hour operations over the weekend, and anytime high temperatures are below freezing, they see an uptick in clients. Help Inc. says they housed anywhere from 45 to 55 people per day during the winter weather at Zion Baptist. They say overall their numbers are up for people needing services, nearly doubled from last year to this year, but they also see a big increase when the temperatures drop, putting pressure on the organization to deliver. They say they rely on their volunteers to serve meals, prep the space, and be available during those 24-hour stints, also relying on the local food bank to help supply additional meals. Director Matthew Stern says there is a way for local businesses to help ease the burden as well.
If there's a meal that we need for lunch, it's pretty easy for one of our local businesses to jump in and say, hey, we'll provide, a meal for 50. That takes a great burden off of us and certainly helps us all out and, keeps our homeless brothers and sisters fed.
Another option for cold days is the Day Center here on Buckrow Avenue. It's open Monday through Friday from 9 to 1 and provides services like laundry, a hot shower, and a meal. In Hampton, Ellen Ice, News 3.
Winter Storm 2022 had some businesses closing and others thriving. Still ahead, the business that's booming after the storm. One local business is seeing a boost in customers today. Car washes. Did you notice? The Riptide Car Wash on Mercury Boulevard in Hampton, more than doubling its typical sales, all due to the winter weather over the weekend. When News 3 spoke to the manager earlier this afternoon, he said that they're on track to service 700 cars today. The salt sand mixture that has been on the roads can lead to corrosion, not just of paint, but other important vehicle components as well.
Right now, you can support a great cause and get a chance to explore an Outer Banks aquarium for free. The North Carolina Aquarium on Roanoke Island is holding a food drive to benefit the island's food pantry. Now, the drive is happening now until Valentine's Day. If you bring a bag full of non-perishable food, you will receive one free admission per reservation. Roanoke Island is setting a goal to donate 1 ton worth of food, and for a list of goods and let's try this again. For a list of information about how you can participate, visit our website at WTKR.com.
Well, if you haven't had a chance to clear off your sidewalk, Mother Nature may help you out. We are tracking a big warm-up on the way, and then the chance for more snow coming up in your first warning 7-day forecast.
Long hours and hard work. That's what it was like for VDOT crews across the region as they cleaned up the winter blast that Mother Nature sent us over the weekend.
Investigative reporter Margaret Cavanaugh joins us live from Northampton Boulevard in Virginia Beach. Okay, Margaret, you spoke with VDOT today. Were there any major concerns?
No, they said there were no incidents in Hampton roads, and they spent the weekend cleaning up roads like the one behind me, and they say they're still monitoring this situation.
At the peak of the storm, VDOT says they had 300 trucks out on the roads cleaning up the mess.
We expected what we got. And of course, the weather pattern shifted. Snow started falling sooner than expected, but we were well prepared and responded appropriately.
Their job entailed putting down thousands of pounds of salt and sand. VDOT has a $211 million budget for 2022 for the 9 districts across Virginia, and they say it would cost roughly $11 million per day to cover the statewide storm. They say the exact numbers of how much the storm cost are not ready yet.
They're tallying up money spent, trucks, crew, able bodies, tons of salt used, sand, as well as anti-icing, and then plows.
They say those numbers should be ready in a few days and no major incidents in Hampton roads.
We're really proud of our crews and how efficiently and quickly they worked. And we had 0 incidents between plows and motorists. And really, that's kudos to all of our public and heeding caution and just the consideration they gave our crews as they worked to help clear roads.
And now there's the possibility of more winter weather later this week.
We're keeping a close eye on any potential weather heading this way. And we're also continuing to monitor our roads. And once that weather system gets closer and we have a better idea of the impact we will have, we'll start preparing and making plans then.
Yes, and VDOT says safety, of course, is their top priority on our area roads. And when it comes to the budget, if there are things that have to be moved around or shuffled around, they're always able to do that. Live in Virginia Beach, Margaret Cavanaugh, News 3. Margaret, thank you for that live report. Here's another thing to add to VDOT's tab, potholes.
Winter weather creates potholes and causes frustration for drivers. The reason we will be seeing more potholes is because of the melting and refreezing. When the water melts, it gets into the cracks in the roads, and at night, when it refreezes, that ice expands, breaking the pavement, creating potholes. You can report potholes on the interstate on VDOT's website, and we have information on how to report potholes in your city at WTKR.com.
From the JES First Warning Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Patrick Rocky.
You know, we have about 2 months of winter left, and we are already snowier than normal. We have 7.2 inches of snow at Norfolk International so far this winter. Our normal season, we pick up about 6.2 inches. But you know, there are a lot of seasons when we get absolutely no snow at all, and then there are a lot of seasons when we get a whole lot of snow. This is a look at our snowiest seasons on record, going back to the 1800s here. And a lot of us remember this one. Our #1 snowiest season was the winter of 1979-1980. That included the circus blizzard of 1980, but that was just one of the big snows we had that year, picking up nearly 42 inches of snow that season. It was a big one. Now, we're not talking about anything close to that, but a system moving in this weekend could bring us some snow. Our forecast models have been bobbing around, but both of them have really backed off today for the threat for a lot of snow this weekend. European forecast model is saying only probably a light accumulation for most of us. We just got the latest run in from the GFS forecast model, and it is way backed off, saying a dusting at most. And we're going to continue to see these bob around for the next couple of days. And we hope as we get towards, say, Wednesday and Thursday, they really start to show some consistency so we can tell you exactly what we think is going to happen. But we do know what happened today. A weak little cold front moved in. That's going to be moving back as a warm front. So temperatures tomorrow are going to be heading up before our next cold front moves in and temperatures head down in a big way. Nothing heading down right now. First warning radar. We do have some clouds that have been building in, and as we take you overnight toward tomorrow morning, we'll see more of those when we wake up tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Little on the breezy side, 5 to 10 mile-per-hour winds with temperatures down close to freezing. So we're talking wind chills down into the 20s. Then as we head into the late afternoon and evening hours, as that cold front moves in, we could squeeze out a stray sprinkle or even a snow flurry